Hello guys, what's going on? Zach here with a random map game that I spectated live the other day. It was a few days ago, but I distinctly remember that it was a good one, so I downloaded it, and I'm finally getting around to cast this separately away from the live stream. Because I don't just want to upload videos to the channel that I've streamed live. I thought it would be nice to do a combination of the both, or of the two, because I suppose those of you who watch the stream would really have no reason to watch YouTube if all the videos I uploaded to YouTube were just from the stream anyway. So I'm going to do both, streaming and just uploading straight to YouTube as well, so that there's variety out there for everyone. But I do remember this game being pretty good, so you will have to excuse the fact that it is an Arabia Hun war. But regardless of that, down to the south of the map in blue, we've got Walker Romanze, or Romans, in blue playing as the Huns. I think this is Tokyo Meow. Not 100% sure, but I think it is. Up to the sort of northwest of the map, in red, we've got Akuo, CCS Akuo, we'll call him Red, and he's also playing as the Huns as well. So it's Hun War on Arabia, but I guarantee you it is quite a good one, and I know that because I watched it live the other day, but I can't remember every fine detail, so it's going to be like rediscovering a gem. It's going to be good. One thing to note here, that Walker Romans is, blue's gold quite far forwards, which is very nasty for him. He's got stone forwards as well, and in the back he's got a little bit of gold, and a berry bush back here, which is probably going to be gone anyway by the time any raiding comes in. But either way, his map isn't so nice. Same could sort of be said for Red in this position, actually. His gold is pretty far forwards, and actually saying that, I take that back, he has got a big gold in the back, I just didn't see it. His map's actually pretty nice. He's got a very easy wall at the front here. Same could be said for across the sides as well, so Red's map is actually really lovely. But before this game really gets hotted up, I just want to take a little moment to have a chat about the Out of Sync Cup that I'm hosting. Those of you probably saw the Out of Sync sort of announcement video asking for donations to the prize pool. Well, the Kickstarter link isn't actually up yet, but I will update you as soon as the Kickstarter becomes available, because already in the last, 12 hours or so, over $150 worth of prize pool has been donated already. So obviously the more that gets donated to the tournament, the better players, or the more players are likely to sign up. So I think it's going to be really cool, and it would just be a little bit of an experiment as well, just to see how much we could raise for an event like this. Hopefully it's something that will actually appeal to you guys. A Turbo Random Map Cup. It should be a whole lot of fun, and I know for a fact that I'm going to be putting in an absolute ton of effort to make this the most successful event that I've ever hosted. So I really do hope that it's going to be awesome. As I said, I will let you know as soon as the Kickstarter becomes available. But if you want to just sort of find out more information in general, then there's a link to the AOC Zone post below this video where I announced it. So you can just get an idea about what maps are going to be used and stuff like that. And in actual fact, I'm going to be using maps that are all community made. So aside from Arabia, all of the maps are going to be community made maps, quite recent ones as well, by the likes of myself, Gentle, some other guys, Profit, and all that. So it should be a really good kind of community-driven event, and hopefully it's going to be really high production quality and a lot of good fun to watch. That is a good 4 weeks away yet, though, so kind of preparing you for that already, and I really hope you're going to be able to make it. So you'll probably hear me talking about that quite a lot, just so it doesn't slip your minds, because I really want it to be a big success. And, while the Dark Age is going on, there's no harm in having a bit of chat and plug in some other stuff that's going on in the community, I guess. Other stuff that you guys should probably be aware of, actually, is the War is Coming tournament, which is coming up actually very soon. As the tournament name might suggest, War is indeed coming. It is a team game tournament, and it is going to be pretty big. I think there's a $50,000 prize pool for that. I mean, honestly, recently, Age community, the Age of Empires 2 community, it's unreal. Like, you would never ever believe that a $50,000 tournament would happen like now. It blows my mind to even think of those numbers, and that's going to be in March. So I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity for other tournaments and stuff to come along down the road down later in the year. But we've got a $50K tournament in March, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic, to be honest with you. So do keep an eye out for that as well. And I've said many times before, I'll say it again. AOC Zone is really the place to find out about this stuff, unless you hear it from me, of course. Which in that case, fair enough. So yeah, one thing though that's kind of a little bit of controversy, something that I actually want to kind of get off my chest and talk about, because it's something that I get really frustrated with, and I perhaps shouldn't, because there are conflicting views about this. So I'd like to hear your opinions on the matter as well. But recently, a lot of players have been joining Team Tyrant. Now, we know that for the last year, Team Tyrant has pretty much consisted of Jordan23, the Viper, KCAB, and Doubt. That's kind of the bread and butter Age of Empires 2 Tyrant team. However, more recently, well, a lot of players have been joining. I mean, you've got Slam in there now, you've got Fire in there now, I think Jidba's in there from Deathmatch. A lot of players are joining Tyrant, and I've got so mixed feelings about this, because I feel like, well, where is the competition? I mean, every tournament that is played, Tyrant usually finish in the top 1 or 2 spots. And if it's a team game tournament, they're pretty much guaranteed to be top. If it's a single player tournament, well, the top 5 or 6 players are probably going to be Tyrant as well. In fact, right now, the top 10 rated players on Voobly, aside from Chris, I think are all in Tyrant. So I wonder where the competition's going to go. I mean, it may very well be that the only competition at the very highest levels of Age of Empires 2 is actually within Tyrant. And it concerns me a bit, because obviously, I really want to see the best for the community, and I really want to see the best for this game. And when your highest level of competition is within the same team, I don't know how competitive it's really going to be, and if it's going to stay that competitive. I feel like for the next year or two, maybe now, unless someone else comes along with a better offer, it's just going to be Tyrant every time, and we're never going to have any surprises. We're never going to have any underdogs come to the top, because they just can't. The competition is so much. So excuse me for ranting about this a bit, but it is something that, is kind of quite dear to me, as I really kind of want to see Age of Empires 2 be very competitive and very successful. I mean, there are other opinions about it. Some people think it's a good thing. Personally, I'm not sure, and I'd like to hear what you guys think as well on the matter. I honestly think that competition is probably the biggest, most important thing that this game has. I mean, it's a competitive game in its nature, and for the competition to be sort of taken away in any respect, I think is a bad thing. That can be said as well for a lot of people saying, hey, we should probably try and get one centralized gaming client, i.e. Voobly. It's a good idea in theory, but if Voobly has no competition, if Steam didn't exist, if other clients like GameRange didn't exist, then Voobly would have no incentive to actually improve their product or improve their service. And in actual fact, they could probably charge a lot more for their service, because they would be the only people offering that same service. So it's something that I think is really important to have competition. And in fact, in terms of streaming, I've certainly felt that competition myself. I mean, everyone wants to be the person who has the most stream viewers. Everyone wants to have the best stream and the best videos. And I'm one of those people. And, if there was no competition, I doubt the quality of my videos would have increased as much as it has done. In the last year or so, I built a new PC and got a new monitor, and I've done so many things so that I can make better videos. I've built a better microphone. And it's all because I do want to be able to be the best at what I do. And obviously, if there's no competition for me, then there's no reason for me to try and improve. So I think competition is so important. I think that's the same in everyday life, just everything. We're a very competitive species. But anyway, we should probably get back to the game, otherwise I will end up ranting for the remainder of it. And I'll give you a quick rundown of what's happened if you didn't quite catch it. Walker Romance Blue here, he did try to make a drush. In fact, you can see his 3 militia right there. But unfortunately, he couldn't find Red. He went all the way over here with his militia, and he didn't find his enemy. So his drush was really ineffective, and that enabled Red to forward, which he did quite nicely. He came forwards with the villagers here, built the barracks, built the archery range on this hill, and right now red's in a good position. He's pushed blue right off of this gold. He's taking blue's main stone. Blue has no stone back here, which is a terrible position to be in when you're being tower rushed. You really need to make sure you get some stone so you can counter their towers. Red putting up this tower here, denying any farms from this left side of the TC, pushing him away from wood as well. And it looks like at this stage, you know, at this stage of the game, blue is looking in such a bad position. You know, he is in a terrible position right now. Fortunately, he does have gold back here, so it's not all as bad as it seems. He is still able to take some gold, which is kind of his saving grace. He will be able to start adding in some archers. But red, really super aggressive, denying the main gold, taking his main stone, will be able to continue to tower this as well. And, you know, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to blue here. And, you know, blue now building up quite an army of skirmishers. I was going to say the other day, when I was streaming this, I was thinking to myself, you know, this is the opportunity a little bit later on that blue needs to push out once he's got once he's got some numbers. So he's going to try and take this hill here. Now, obviously, both of them have got a little bit of a hill to fight for. Definitely, though, getting in here, trying to deny this tower. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if he manages to do it or not. Red has a lot of units coming in here. Neither of them have fletching, but red really is outnumbering blue in this position. Blue doing the right thing, trying to take these villagers out to deny this tower, but I think the tower ends up going up, and again, that is really bad news for the blue player here. Not only is it going to give red a little bit easier, an easier time pushing in, but it's going to deny these farms from blue as well, and that is a huge deal. Obviously now, all that wood that he spent on these farms pretty much wasted. He can't build farms there anymore, and the more towers that red builds, the further and further into the corner that blue is going to get pushed. So it's a really horrible position actually for him to be in. Red even walling up the base of this tower now, doing exactly the right thing here, and just kind of waiting for some upgrades to come in. Red's actually only just started taking some gold, so we'll probably see some archers coming in fairly soon, but he's very committed to this forward, very committed indeed, you know, with a lot of skirmisher production coming out, and you know, he's not really thinking at the moment, hey, I should probably consider thinking about going up to the castle age. No, he's just going all out aggression, and it's really nice. The thing for blue here, though, I think there's a gap between well, no, there's not. I thought there was a gap between the archery ranges there, but red could still get past here, and he could get into the back and really delay or hurt blue's eco, so you've got to bear that one in mind. Blue switching to archers now. I think he's going to do fletching fairly soon. Speak of the devil, fletching being researched, and I think he might get that before red in this position, actually. Red does not have a blacksmith yet, and he is actually putting it down, so going to be a similar timing, but blue will have fletching slightly earlier. But yeah, as I said, he's in a terrible position, and you know, I really root for the person, I root for the underdog as much as I can. I really want them to kind of do well and succeed, but his eco has been quite disrupted. He is not in the best position at all, but he is getting quite a reasonable sized army here, and now he's switched to archers as well. He might even be able to pull off a reasonable castle time. However, red in this position now, he's not been harassed the entire game. His eco is going to be switching towards archers very soon. I think he's probably going to be able to go up to the castle age fairly quickly, actually. But either way, red now getting through here under this TC. Blue hasn't got any villagers in there, so he's actually not doing any damage to those skirms at all. But red's going to pull back, and I think that's a really weird decision from him, because there was nothing attacking him. That TC wasn't doing any damage. He may as well just walked under and cleaned up the villagers back here. So it was interesting that he did that, and blue actually now putting up a stable, and this is such a great idea. He's going to start making some scouts. It's risky because he will really delay his castle time, but he kind of has to do it. He's under a lot of pressure. Right now, he's leading Red's army away. He's taking him well away from his base, and Red's chasing him down. At this stage, this is what I was thinking to myself on stream. Why doesn't Blue run at that? Why doesn't he run at this tower? Take it down. You know, 5 or 6 villagers over here right now would be great. Red doesn't have much army over here. He's chasing him all the way over this right side. Blue, at this stage, should get some villagers, take this tower down, and wall this archery range up. Red probably wouldn't be able to respond fast enough, and with 2 archery ranges apiece, they probably going to be able to equally produce the same amount of units. So if Blue did that, he'd be in such a great position for a comeback here. If you walled that up, or at least took one of these towers down, I think that would be so good for him. At the moment, though, they are just having a little bit of a detour around the map, and I don't know, does Blue even know where Red is? Yeah, he knows where he is now. He's just taking him for a long walk, and sending some more units out as well. Interesting that he would go all the way around like that, because, you know, it's a long way to go, to just go all the way up here and all the way left again, just to get to your opponent's base, but he is looking to counter, and in that position, you know, when you're defending back at home, sometimes just having the balls, in a sense, to actually go and counter your enemy is, it can pay off. It can pay off very, very well. So at the moment then, adding in some scouts now, it's a great decision to do that. Scouts are going to be brilliant at taking out the skirmishers, and Red has got a reasonably large amount of skirmishers. Pardon me, a reasonably large amount of skirmishers there. So Blue is going to be able to take them out at some point, but at the moment, looks like he's going to send that straight over to Red's eco, try and hit him where he can. I'm surprised really that Red hasn't tried to do a faster castle time here, but if we have a look at the population, he's on 78 compared to Blue's 69. He is definitely further ahead, and it looks like he's going to head this army off as well, which is kind of unfortunate for Blue here, but his archers, I thought there, might have given him the slip. Red just going to turn it around. And Blue going to merge his armies together by the looks of it. Scouts from Blue coming in. And, you know, considering he was in such a bad position, losing pretty much the entirety of the front of his base here, forced right into the back, he's doing surprisingly well in this position right here. So going to go for these skirms now, and I think Blue made a little bit of a mistake there. He will get these skirmishers down, but he's not going to be able to do enough. I mean, as I say, he did a lot of damage, well, a reasonable amount of damage, but 3 scouts against that many skirms. Red just has to split his army, and the skirmishers will take the scouts out. However, Blue might hit his eco quite hard now. Red doesn't have a whole lot of defense. In fact, he has put up a couple of towers just in case. A raid also coming in at Blue's economy, so they're both trying to raid where they can. Red is certainly getting ahead though, as 1 or 2 villagers going to go down here, and Blue not seemingly getting inside of his tower either, which I feel is a huge mistake at this stage. Also managing to take out a couple of villagers from Red though, and Red now just going to move out, but denying the farms, and that's a really, really crucial thing for Red to do in this position. He has just clicked up to the castle age, and he's going to be up reasonably further ahead than Blue at this stage. I feel a little bit concerned for this army here as well. He does have +1 defense, but well, they both do, but he is outnumbered, and that is a little bit of a risk, because if he does get cornered in here, Red will be able to take that army out, but I don't know if he's going to pursue it or not. In fact, he may have just missed his opportunity to pursue, though he's going to go chase Blue down anyway. But, you know, I think Red, if he'd have reacted a little faster there, he might have been able to take Blue's army out. Blue, though, going to have a hill advantage here if he turns around. Nice one for him. Might even be able to out-micro this. Really good, actually. And Red not really doing a whole lot of damage at the moment, but I don't know if he's going to win this or not. There are archers in there for Blue, and Red even going to retreat now. And look at that great micro. He did a good job hitting Red's eco as well. I heard 1 villager going down there. Really good harassment, and this is the kind of game that I like. I like it when one player is so kind of really disadvantaged, but they manage to do everything they can to get themselves back into it. Red is forced to put up quite a few towers at home, and that's never ideal. You don't want to have to be doing that. That's a lot of resources spent that you could have spent elsewhere. I think finally though, over here, Red's starting to get an advantage. He is starting to take these units down, and I think Blue perhaps going to suicide here, coming into the back of this wood line, looking for some kills on these villagers, at the risk of potentially losing his entire army. I'm not sure if it's going to pay off all that well. He's just going to fight this hill, but obviously under the fire of that watchtower, under the fire of these skirmishers, Blue will lose that army there, and he didn't kill any villagers either. And now Red up to the castle age, a little bit further ahead. Blue is going up, but he's on about 80% now, so he is not quite there yet, but he has added in 3 stables, and he's got quite a bit of gold as well. They are playing Huns, so cavalry archers, crossbow, all of that jazz can certainly be on the cards. Red are going to start making a little bit of a push here though. Crossbow just being completed, bodkin arrow as well, and he's coming in now, going to try and do what damage he can to Blue's eco. Blue has just got up to the castle age as well, trying to put up a market there. Not sure if he's going to try and sell some resource to rebalance his eco. Switching to knights very quickly, and we're going to see some knights coming out. Red though does pick off quite a few villagers here, and Blue almost forgetting to garrison inside of that tower there, and Red going to come in, pick off quite a lot of villagers here as the knights come out. But I think these knights, even now, are going to have a very tough time. +1 defense is done, but there are a lot of archers there, and they're doing a lot of damage to these knights, which is going to make it nearly impossible at this stage for Blue to really just attack them head on. Tower doing quite a reasonably good amount of damage though, but Blue losing quite a few villagers, and there's the GG from him. I was really hoping, really hoping that he'd get that back, because we know that Red had a big advantage through pretty much the entirety of that game. The scores at times didn't really show that the advantage was really there, but obviously, when you've got your opponent really pinned into their base, really kind of backed into a corner, you've denied their main gold, you've denied their main stone, he was in a good position. Red was in a great position there. I think he could have done a few things slightly better perhaps, but he didn't suffer that many losses from Blue's raiding, and I was really hoping that Blue would get it back. When he pushed out with that counter, I was like, oh, come on, you can do it. But the raiding at the end there with these crossbows, it was just too much, really, and it doesn't really matter how many knights you get out. If they all come in at one at a time, they will get picked off by these crossbows. So there we have it, GG from Tokia Meow, I believe, aka Walker Romance. Well played to Red Akuo, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll tune in for the next one. But as usual, guys, I've been Zach, and I will see you all next time.